All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm super excited about today. We're going to talk about why you need to show up every single day, specifically on Instagram. You're not going to want to miss this one.
Not missing this one.
One guy met his wife on TV. The other guy used to be a cop. One girl's the #1 YouTuber in real estate. The other girl built her home with her bare hands. Both girls, legendary golfers. Both guys have a history with the Bachelor franchise. Together, they've sold more than $500 million in real estate. Join them all on their way to $1 billion.
Okay, so let's talk about being top of mind. And what I mean by that is using your stories on Instagram.
Why do you post in stories every day?
So I post on my stories every single day to be top of mind. So when someone pulls up Instagram, you see a little rainbow ring. That means they have a new story that you haven't seen before. So I post typically 2 to 3 stories every single day, not back to back, but maybe every 4 hours, to be top of mind or to be on top of their Instagram when they go on it. And what that looks like is me and Jason going to get 5 stones and taking a picture of our coffee. We're working, we're maybe golfing, maybe we're taking our spouses out to dinner, going on a walk with our dog with no eyes, all those things.
My version of this, staying top of mind, you remember the show Cheers?
No.
Cheers was basically a group of people that went to the same bar every single day, ordered the same drink, ordered the same food, had the same bartender, the same customers. So what I would do is I'd go to a coffee shop, whether it's Five Stones or Starbucks, and I'd go there every single day at 9 o'clock. Right? You'd see the same people, you talk to the same people, you meet the same barista. So you're staying top of mind in your community.
That's interesting.
That's the old school way of doing it.
I like that.
So what I like to talk about this is called collaborating. It's not a thing.
I like that.
Collaborating?
Collaborating.
Okay, so what's important to think about now is when I started getting into Instagram, I would tag my wife Molly on everything. I wanted the eyeballs of her followers on mine as well.
Yep.
So I would tag her on everything. And slowly I started learning, right? You could tag other people.
Yes.
Right? You didn't just have to tag one person. In my small little brain, because I'm 48 years old, I was always tagging the one person that I lived with.
On top of the tagging, you can also name a location, right? So instead of tagging just the restaurant, why don't you tag the location of like Kirkland, Washington? So when I go or someone's relocating to Kirkland, they can click on Kirkland and see all of these posts in Kirkland and see the restaurants that they're at, the parks. I personally just do the city. You know, there's someone that's relocating. They're probably just going to look at the city to start, and then they're going to look at Finn Hill, Houghton, Easton Market, Weston Market. So you can get into the weeds and all that stuff, but I kind of just go a little bit broader.
Okay, so we've got tagging, we've got location, and I think the last thing that I know he's so good at is collaborating.
It's collaborating. So collaborating is essentially I'm making a post and I'm going to post it with Jason. So it's not just going to go on my profile, it will also go on his. But you can actually collaborate with, I believe, up to 4 people now, which could be businesses, it could be partners, it could be just people that are in the post with you. That has to go on their profile if they collaborate with
Okay, so what I'm learning, again, Chris is teaching a lot of this over the last couple of years to me. So when you're collaborating with somebody, they have to approve it.
Correct.
It comes into your feed, it comes into your messages, and it's like, do you accept this collaboration?
Yes.
With tagging, you can just tag anybody and they don't even necessarily know.
Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
restaurants want to collaborate with us, for example, in Kirkland, because they will see our followers, our big following will see that restaurant. And maybe from our post, they'll want to go into the restaurant.
Okay, so to recap, we got tagging, you got putting your location in there, and collaborating.
Yes.
Don't forget those 3 things, and if you have any questions about those, reach out to us.
One last thing, the reason why we do it is to get more eyeballs, more followers, and just get more networking within our community.
Right.
So that's
so
why we do it.
That's a great point. So like my old school way, being 48 years old, is I would go to events. I would go to chamber meetings. I would go to all different places so I could meet people and collaborate and network.
Yep.
Now, Instagram lets you do that with a
Online.
click of the button, I guess. We all know how important Reels are. So when you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, right, and you see static pictures, not a Reel. Reels are the videos.
Yes.
The short videos that are so important because people engage with videos more than anything else. How long can they be?
They can be 30 to 90 seconds, but they perform the absolute best from 15 to 30 seconds.
Which is awesome. So making sure that you have some kind of motion in there. Like I think back in the day, if you made a video reel of some sort. If you what did they call it back in the day? It was just a video.
They
post.
had Vines.
Vines. So if you
Yeah.
posted something, a lot of it was like super put together, right? Like lighting was perfect. Now when you see reels, it could be somebody making a cake with their phone, right?
Yeah.
And they're splattering batter all over the place. Sorry. But that's what you would see, and that you're going to get so much more engagement with these kind of raw reels.
Yep.
Right?
The rawer the better. All right, so now we're going to jump into cross promotion, and what that means is I just made an Instagram post. I'm also going to put it on my LinkedIn, my TikTok, my X, my Facebook, everything.
Yeah,
Why?
I mean, well, you know, the thing I learned is, so if you haven't learned or read about Gary Vaynerchuk, Google him. Gary V is what us followers call him,
Yes.
right? And all he basically does is you take a video, like we're shooting here, right? And you cut it down, right? And you reposition it, or repurpose it is probably a better word. You repurpose it on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, whatever platform. And so you could take that same piece of content, like let's say we have a 5-minute video here, and you could cut it up into little chunks and reposition it, repurpose it wherever you want. We all know how important consistency is.
With everything in life.
Yeah, absolutely. With everything in life. So I know I am disciplined and consistent every single morning. I wake up at 5:30. I do a gratefulness practice. I go to the gym. I read. I take my kids off to school every single day. I am consistent with that. That goes the same with creating content.
Yep.
And if we're going to be honest, you see us creating a lot of content. If you're watching this video, we do our best to create content. But what's the truth?
We've fallen short.
We absolutely have fallen short. So we get busy during the spring, early summer part of the real estate season. And even though we have creating content every single week on our calendar, it falls off. And Colby, shake the camera how we're doing. Good? Bad.
Oh, no.
So we need to do better. So even though we do have a calendar, sometimes we push things off. You're at an age where you've got a lot of friends that are getting married, so you're traveling on weekends.
A lot of weddings.
So you gotta block out that time. So as consistent and disciplined as I am in the morning with my kind of personal stuff, we all need to be that consistent with creating content.
You have to. And I'd also like to say, don't forget about being authentic when you're creating this content, right? So what I mean by that is, be yourself. Don't try to fake being someone else you're not. Don't spend a lot of money on big production when you don't have that many followers. You know, you'll get there, but be very raw with it. All you need is a phone.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different people. There are people like Ryan Serhant, who we all know, who is authentically himself. He is in the luxury market. I think he said he made over $20 million one year. He's got a driver. He's got a fancy watch. He's got all that stuff. So that's authentic to him. But there are people that rent a fancy car and borrow their friend's watch and want people to believe that there's something that they're not. Stay true to yourself, right? I think about, here's where we've kind of messed up. We have a great friend who's in the real estate industry named Brad McCullum. If you haven't watched Brad's videos, you should watch Brad's videos. They are awesome. He brings energy. They're high production, but that is who he is.
Yeah, it is.
We tried to do that, and what happens? Fail.
Not good.
Right?
We tried.
So we're working on being authentic to ourselves and learning along the way.
You know, make your posts really resonate with your audience. And that means really think about your audience and would they want to see your content. And the things that I think of is fun, facts, or feelings. Those are the things that I think the audience is going to want in the piece of content.
Yeah, and think about if you create something fun or a cool fact or make somebody feel something good, that's when they share stuff. I mean, not just work-related stuff. Chris and I are both big golfers, and if we see a funny golf video or a golf video that can teach us something, right? We share it back and forth, and that benefits the person who created the content.
Totally.
Right? So make sure fun, facts,
feelings.
Right? So people will share your content. So important.
All right, and last but not least, have a backlog of content. When we first hired Colby, we had a backlog of content from another videographer that we just stopped using. And so we had maybe 5 videos that we could post. We try to post once a week. I'm in a crazy wedding season right now. Jason's got his kiddos, so he's super busy. And sometimes we get slammed. So if we miss a week, it's nice to have a backlog and just cover yourself.
I don't know what he's talking about, backlog. When I think about it, is batch filming too. Right?
Well, that too.
It's the same thing. But in short, when I first started doing YouTube, Molly and I, we would sit at a table like this and we would film just with our cameras, right? So super easy. We would take our camera out, we put it on a tripod, and we would film 3 or 4 different, there's nothing on.
I know.
There's three or four different content pieces, And so we would have 3 or 4. And so if we got stuck in a busy season,
Yep.
we had something we could push out right away. So batch film, backlog, whatever you want to call it, have a bunch of stuff, take a day. So what are we doing now? What's Wednesdays?
Batch filming.
Batch filming day. So
Yep.
today's a Wednesday. We don't necessarily all have to film every single Wednesday, but if we film 3 or 4 episodes on one Wednesday, we'll have content for the future. Remember, be authentic, consistent, and engaging. It's so important when you're creating Instagram videos and content.
And don't forget fun, facts, and feelings. And if you got any nuggets, give a thumbs up, and we'll see you at the next one.
We're out of here.
Oh, that's good. Jason, you go. Oh, like that.